We now know the definition of a project. Why are definitions important? Well, how we label something determines how we perceive and visualize it. And how we perceive and visualize something determines how we manage it. Hence, the risk of mislabeling is pure and simple that we could mismanage. Managing routine or repetitive work has a set of tools and techniques that apply well to that type of work. Likewise, non-routine work or projects have their own set of tools and techniques, which we shall explore in this course. The word project is a very commonly used word in the English language, and we routinely use it in the context of pretty much any type of work we do, even if it happens to be fairly routine. This tendency often carries over to the workplace, where an endeavor can be called a project even if it is routine. I have seen this usage not infrequently when I train and consult at organizations. The risk is that if something that is much more routine than non-routine is labeled a project, then the immediate reaction is to manage it as a project, which might not be the appropriate thing to do. And it might also be ineffective and or wasteful of time, money, and resources. Hence, it is critical that we use the right terms to describe the work we do so that we are able to manage the work in the most optimal manner. Think about your work on a spectrum. On the left side, you have completely repetitive work. On the right side, you have completely unique work. Before you decide how to manage your work, determine where on this spectrum it falls so you can effectively determine how to manage it and what types of tools and techniques to use when doing so. Let us dig a little into the history of project management. Clearly, projects date back to the dawn of human civilization. The pyramids, the Great Wall of China, even Noah's Ark were monumental and impressive projects that obviously must have been managed very well with whatever tools and techniques were available at the time. Project management became a formal discipline in the 20th century, catalyzed by World War II and the subsequent Cold War. It was institutionalized in the 1960s by the Project Management Institute, with the PMBOK guide providing a unifying framework, which we will visit later. There are a few other miscellaneous terms and concepts associated with project management, which would be useful to mention at this time. A project's environment comprises the external factors that can influence the direction and/or the outcome of a project. For example, the politics, the communications practices, decision-making dynamics, IT capabilities are all part of a project's environment, and there are many other factors. The noteworthy point here is that a project manager should always be cognizant of a project's environment, its influence on the project, and the project's influence on its environment. Ignoring the environment can have undesirable consequences, sometimes even catastrophic consequences on a project. Some players on the project management scene are the sponsor, who typically funds the project and has input into major decisions concerning the project. Stakeholders, who broadly speaking are individuals or organizations who have an interest in project outcomes. Team members, who are directly involved in the project work. Functional managers, who provide functional or specialized resources to the project. And vendors, subcontractors, contractors, etc. The term performing organization usually refers to the organization which has the bulk of work and/or responsibility for the project. The acronym PMO stands for Project Management Office, and it is a group of people who provide centralized support for project management in an organization. This support can range from providing high-level direction on tools, training, PM procedures, etc., all the way to full responsibility for choosing projects and also for the outcomes of the chosen projects.